Okay, hi. You hear my voice? Okay, my name is SITI Nurul SHAFIQAH BINTI ZAINAL ABIDIN, and my matric number is 2022996795. Okay, today I will present about the informative speech, which is my topic is importance of homework. Okay, next slide. Okay, in my presentation, for my contents, which is I have the introductions of homework. The second one is main points, and the last one is conclusion. Okay. Okay, for the introduction, what is homework? Homework is the task or the assignment that are given by the teachers that need to be done or complete by the student after the school hours. Homework is the time that students need to spend outside of the classroom in the assigned activity to practice or reinforce or apply newly acquired skills and also knowledge, and also to learn the necessary skill of the independent study. It is basically requires the time of depending upon the quantity of the work that are given by the teachers. Homework can be a form of a written exercise project and also in terms of the assignment. It is an extension of the classroom, which is it can allow students to internalize the information that has been presented in their class. It makes me remember one of the quotes from the Jim Rohn, which is that said, "Nothing is more powerful for your future than being gathered both of good ideas and information that cause doing your homework." So why the homework is important to students, which is that's why I will explain in more details about the importance of homework in my next slide. Okay, next. Okay, I have three main points, which is the first one is it can improve time management skill better, and the second one is it can build the responsibility among the student, and the last one is it can build the self-study. Okay, for the first one, improve the time management skill. Many experts who claim that who are proportional homework claims that dealing with the homework or the assignment regularly helps the student to improve their time management skill by solving tasks that given by the teachers. The student not only increase their knowledge of the needed subject, but it is also improve their skill in managing their time better. First things first, by manage their time well, it will make the student more disciplined. It is this because if they have a lot of homework or tasks that they need to deal with, it is likely that they will not have the time to procrastinate. The students will begin their homework as soon as possible and use the time that they have effectively, rather than take the unnecessary long breaks after they're solving the homework or assignment. Other than that, it can help the student set their priorities, which is it having plenty of their home tasks to solve. The students might not have the time to engage in all activities that they have planned in their daily life. As a result, they will have to learn to prioritize their actions that they can entertaining activities for the sake of the important things like complete their homework, especially for a student. Okay, for the second point, which is help build the responsibility. For your information, in nowadays, some of the current buzzword and praise in the educational community are all about making students accountable and taking on homework. Helps kids to just do that because they have learned to take the responsibility for their actions when they have complete the task. They then they will get the reward of the learning a good grades, but they need to consequence learning in class when they leave it by the website. And for the last point, for my main point, which is help to the self study, which is, as we know, students who do not enter the kindergarten already know how to study. In fact, many of the kids still struggle with their study habits when they enter into the high school. Because of that, the homework that they do consistently, it can help the student to realize the importance of practice, especially in their teachers that provided timely feedback, and also the task that directly related to the unit of the quizzes or task or test, or also exam. Okay, this kind of habit, which is self-study, really important for the future educational process. This can be shown by when we enter the university. The most important thing is the self-study. This is because in the university life, we have to go through all the process in terms of the educational by our own self, such as in the university, we have to learn on how to adapt with the situation where there is no one else that can help us in terms of to complete the assignment, the project, test, and of course, we need to go through by ourselves in our exam. By that habit, it can make the student more prepared themselves to go through all the obstacles. Okay, so next slide. And then for the conclusion, in a nutshell, homework allows the student to gain the responsibility time. In a nutshell, homework allows the student to gain the responsibility of the time management, perseverance, and also self-esteem. The act of the completing homework, and which is, it has a lot of benefit in terms of the developing good habits in the students. This shown that students are gaining many skills from the homework. So for the last slide. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, SHAFIQAH, for your presenting. So, can you hear my voice, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Can we move to my slide? Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to all my friends and participants. Next. Okay, about me. My name is SYAHIRAH SAZLYN binti Muhammad MAZLAN. I am from class ED 246-1A. My number matric is 2022196199. I am from Faculty of Education, Bachelor in Education, Physical and Health Education. My speech today is about type of combat sport. There are many types of combat sport. When you started in this combat sport, there is no finish line when you reach one goal. Find a new one. Do something. Do not scare with challenge that will comes to you. I will share about my experience in this sport. So be prepared, everybody. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The hands can hit what the eyes can see. So let me show you guys my video during I joined my Thai sport. Okay, thank you for watching my video just now. From the video, that is one of the example for video from Muay Thai sport that I joined before this. Muay Thai, the scariest sport, but actually it is fun sport and very adventure. There are many type of combat sport. Among them are Muay Thai, Taekwondo, Judo, Silat, Karate, Boxing, and others which are in the competitions that compete in Malaysian sport. In the many sports that I test, I only choose Muay Thai, Taekwondo, and Judo for my speech. The combat sports are actually very exciting for everyone who wants to participate in it. Before I speak about the type of combat sport, I want to share about my experience joining combat sport. I was represented my state by Majlis Sukan Negeri Terengganu as athlete Sukma in 2018 for Muay Thai sport. I was playing this sport since I was 16 years old. I used to represent Terengganu in Phuket, Thailand, while I was undergoing Muay Thai training at there. So, I was joining this sport. I got many experience during I played this sport. I have participated 3 competitions in Muay Thai at Besut, Kuala Lumpur, and also Malacca. In Besut and Kuala Lumpur, I joined the amateur division and won gold and silver medals. While in Malacca, I joined the pro division and won gold. Alhamdulillah, I am grateful for having such a meaningful experience in my life by participating in various categories while in the competition. Actually, I am very love this sport, but I had learning problem before I stopped playing this sport. I had to focus on my learning because at the time I was facing the SPM exam, which I had to strive for until I succeed. Next slide. Okay. There are 3 types of combat sport, which is Muay Thai, Taekwondo, and Judo in this slide. This sport is actually very exciting to people who want to participate. Next. Okay, Muay Thai. Muay Thai is actually from Thailand. Muay Thai is similar with Tinju, but Tinju is more using upper body only. Meanwhile, Muay Thai is using all part of body such as upper body and lower body. It is not easy to play this sport. Only people that brave to face the challenge in this sport and not scared to any challenge that will come to them. It is because this sport is very dangerous because it will be getting injuries if you are not be careful in the competitions. This sport also very adventure to participate. The technique in this sport are kicking, punching, uppercut, jab, hook, and defending. Then equipment that use are gloves, padding, clothes, and protected things. Although this sport is must use good mental, but this sport is really fun to join. Do not scare to participate in this sport because this sport also can teach you many meaningful experience. Next slide. Okay, we go to Taekwondo. In Taekwondo, they are also known as Taekwondo or Taekwondo. This sport is from Korean. This sport is not scary like Muay Thai, but this sport also adventure. The techniques that used are kicking, striking, and punching. Other than that, the equipment that used are dobok, which is their clothes, gloves, and protector things. This sport also fun to people who want to join it. Next slide. Okay, we go to Judo. Judo is originated in Japan as a derivative of the various martial arts developed and used by the samurai and feudal warrior class over hundreds of years. This sport is not involve kicking, punching, striking, or others like Muay Thai and Taekwondo. Although many of the techniques of Judo originate from arts that were designed to hurt, maim, or kill opponents in actual field battle. The technique of Judo were modified so that Judo students can practice and apply their technique safely and without hurting opponents. The equipment for this sport uses only the Judo gi, which is their clothes. This sport same like Muay Thai, scary, but the technique is not the same. This sport very adventure because they are not using protector to fight with their opponent. But do not scare with the image. Try to join it and feel for yourself. Next. Okay, so for the conclusion, in this Malaysia, many combat sport that was so interesting to others join it. This sport is really scared. This sport is really not scared. If someone really understand with type of combat sport. This sport give many benefits to people if they join. For example, they can learn protection to them, prevent from something scary to them, teach them how to be self-confident and others benefits. So it can prove that combat sports are a good sport, adventure sport that will give many benefits to people. This sport is really not scary to people. Meanwhile, this sport teach us many good things. I hope many people can join this combat sport, and I also hope my speech can give able to provide new lessons for all. Well, that's all from my speech about type of combat sport and my experience in combat sport. Next slide. Okay, thank you for lending me your ears. Thank you again and Assalamualaikum.
So, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is NATASYA binti ZAINAL. I come from class ED24618. So, today I'm going to present about the power of introvert. So, next slide. So these are the quotes for the power of introverts. Deep inside, she knew who she was, and that person was smart and kind and often even funny, but somewhere between her heart and her mouth, and she found herself saying the wrong thing and even worse, nothing at all. So those are the famous quotes from one of the famous successful people who is also an introvert person named Julia Quinn, the author of the Duke and I movie. The quotes talk about how much the introvert person wants to talk, to say everything they want, but they can't due to their introvert personality. So next slide. So first of all, let me tell you about the meaning of introvert. So, an introvert is a person who possesses characteristics of the introverted personality type, which means they are more comfortable focusing on their inner thoughts and ideas rather than focusing on what's happening externally. Other than that, an introvert person prefer to spend time with a small circle of group rather than spending their time in a big group of crowds. Last but not least, an introvert is someone who prefers sense of peace, which means they like to be alone more than socializing with other people. They tend to feel drained and tired after socializing with other people after they gain their energy by spending time alone. So next slide. I'm going to tell you the types of introvert, which consists of 4 types. The first one is social introvert. The second one is thinking introvert. The third one is anxious introvert. And last is restrained or inhibited introverts. So for the social introverts, the social introverts is a classic type of introvert. They prefer small group and quiet environment over large crowds. The second one is thinking introverts. They are full with daydreamers. They spend a lot of time thinking and they also have a very creative imaginations. The third one is anxious introvert. They like to seek out alone time, not just because they like it, but also because they want to avoid or they are uncomfortable being in a public. Last, restrained or inhibited introverts, they will likely to consider their option before they make an action. They don't like to make a decision on the spur of the moment. So next slide. Next slide. I'm going to tell you about the power of introverts, or in another words, the advantages for introvert person. The first one, okay, before that, let me tell you that I am an introvert myself and I love it and so do the other people out there. Our quiet approach to life, our need for solitary time isn't a flaw, but it is a gift. But as an introvert person, it is not always easy to realize the world feels like a place that rewards introverts, where being loud is mistaken for being confident and happy, where everyone has something to say but nobody listens. For those who speak softly, it is easy to feel left out, especially for those who are introverts. People out there must think that there are a lot of serious disadvantage to be an introvert people who live in an extrovert world. But little did you know that there are many ways quiet ones actually does outshine the extrovert ones. So, for the first point is independent and need less supervision. Next slide, please. One of the power that the introvert had is introverts are more independent and need less supervision. Many extroverts insist on a teamwork, which is prevalent attitude in today's workplace and classroom. Introverts choose a lifestyle that emphasizes autonomy and self-sufficiency since they are more private. They prefer to work independently whenever feasible, and as a result, they usually require less monitoring than extrovert people. So the second point is academic performance. There is a famous quote from Stephen Hawking which states, "Quiet people have the loudest mind." Introvert person outperforms cognitive ability in predicting academic performance. They may be able to think more quickly, concretely, and creatively, and they can even get a better grades. Introvert people are also more insightful when it comes to understanding other people's motivation and behavior. So, the third one is, next slide. The third one is business success. Introverts make successful entrepreneurs, while extroverts can get sidetracking seeking validation. Introverts do anything possible to support their team and make top performers feel valued. Next point is introverts are routinely passed over for leadership position because they tend to be very careful, much less likely to outsize risk. Last but not least, introvert leaders often deliver better outcomes than extrovert leaders because introvert leaders are much more likely to let those employees run with their ideas compared to the extrovert leaders who are much likely to be selfish. So, my last slide is for conclusion. In conclusion, despite belief that introverts are less happy than extroverts. Actually, did you know that introvert people are content full of happiness in their own little world? Therefore, people frequently admire thoughtful and passionate thinkers. Therefore, introvert people can be assertive. A true introvert is someone who avoids all social interaction and does not seek put any form of attention from others. So the last slide is thank you for lending your ears and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thaqifah, mute mic. Okay, thank you. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hello everyone. My name is FARAH MAHIRAH binti MAZLAN. Before I start my speech today, I am going to share with you guys my experience purchasing an item through online. I have been buying through online a few times before this, but this is my first time to face this kind of situation. So one day I bought a pair of earphones from Shopee. For your information, Shopee is one of the platforms where we can buy essentials online. Fast forward, I received my order, but sadly, they gave me a broken pair of earphones. So I went straight to contact the owner of the online shop to claim for a refund, but they refused to give me and then decided to block me immediately. Since that day, I never heard anything from that online shop ever again. So the relationship of my story with the title of my speech today is The Downside of Online Shopping. I am here to share the disadvantages of online shopping and ways to avoid the trouble in online shopping with all of you. Okay, online shopping is a platform in the internet that either use websites or mobile application to promote their products. Consumers can buy products and also apply services without the need to be present at a store or shop. Online shopping has been regularly used and recognized by people since COVID-19 was widespread in our country, Malaysia. Since people need to stay indoors because of lockdown, buying through online helps a lot in that current situation because it is a contactless way and safer way to buy things. Consumers will purchase what they want and pay it through online, then the rider will send the stuff to their houses. Next slide. So these are the most problems that people face with online shopping. Frauds in online shopping, delay in delivery, and lack of satisfaction in online shopping. I'm going to explain each and one of the points. So, frauds in online shopping. Despite the pleasure in online shopping, there are people out there who get cheated through this platform. There are scammers in disguise that offers product with a reasonable and cheaper price. Some of them also promote free gifts for any purchase to attract victims into buying it. As a result, victims didn't even receive their order and lost their money just in a blink of an eye because they have been cheated by the online seller. This shows that frauds in online shopping is one of the disadvantages. The problem usually leads to cybercrime. So, before buying something through the internet, customers should look into reviews on the website. They should also be careful to watch over fake reviews. Another way is to separate bank accounts. We should not mix personal saving account with a transaction account to prevent big loss. The second point is delay in delivery. Sometimes the retailer did not post out the customer's order according to its expected time. Even though the whole process of buying and paying the item we want to purchase do not take more than 15 minutes, but the delivery could take from 1 to 3 weeks. It can be the fault of the courier choosing that take too much time. We have GNT, Posaju, but it could also be the fault of the sender itself. The retailer may have made mistakes such as putting incomplete information, misspelled the receiver address, and filled out forms for the postal service incorrectly. To keep away from this problem, the retailer should choose an efficient delivery company and keep in touch. And as customers, we should keep in touch with the retailer to get an update about the parcel from time to time. Lastly, lack of satisfaction in online shopping. The biggest barrier for this issue when it comes to personal customer service. Sometimes they took a long time to respond to customers, and at times, they even use an automatic generator to respond to customers. The customer support Sometimes the customer support are incapable to understand the customer's need. So it is easier and clearly to interact face to face because they can fulfill the customer's needs directly in the shop. Moreover, customers can look into products closely and that have many variation and may become the choosing thing that matches their aura or mood. Next slide. So here is I cropped it from a website, a newspaper website, News Straits Time. So according to this, the title is Malaysian lost 58 million ringgit to online shopping scammers this year. Written by Kalbana Parimbanayagam, released on November 8, 2021. This is last year. So we can see that the, people are still facing this issue. People are still facing this issue. So we should be really careful of it. Next slide. Conclusion. People should be extra careful when online shopping to avoid being scammed and can have a better experience of online shopping. What I want to say here is that online shopping is an alternative way to buy things as it is convenient and quick. Using online shopping, we can prevent COVID-19 by avoiding crowded places such as supermarkets and shopping malls. But unfortunately, there is also a drawback in online shopping. We should not trust seller easily and make sure the seller is not a scammer before making any purchase with them. In this way, we can avoid frauds with loss and have a better online shopping experience. So this is the end of my slide. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you, FARAH. Okay, my slide is about get enough sleep for doing daily activities. Next. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tuan MAIZATUL AKMA binti Tuan MOHAMAD NAZRI. My matric number is 2022773713. Next. and you can call me AKMA. Okay, I used to have trouble to sleep, and now too. My experience is before this, I worked in a restaurant until late night. When I come home after that, while driving, I had micro-sleep and almost collided with a truck. Alhamdulillah, each of us are okay because we avoided it. It is because I'm tired and can't sleep in the night. I I want to learn to get enough sleep, which is 7 or 8 hours, starting at 11 p.m. until 6 a.m. Because class started in the morning until evening, and I must to get enough rest and sleep. Next, quotes. Okay. Better rest, better day. Because to me, I'm so good to at sleeping that I can do it with my eyes closed. There is no sunrise so beautiful that is worth waking me up to see it. My mother told me to follow my dreams, so I took a nap. Then happiness is waking up, looking at the clock and finding that you still have 2 hours left to sleep and no days is so bad. It can be fixed with a nap. Okay, I'm gonna share to you guys about get enough sleep for doing daily activities. Okay, I have 3 points. First is maintain a good mood, heart health, and brain function. Okay, my first point is enough sleep can maintain a good mood. Next slide. Okay, sleeplessness and mood disorder are closely linked, and it can work both ways. Like sleep loss can affect your mood, and your body can affect how much and how well you sleep. Sleep deprived increase in negative mood like anger, frustrations, irritability, sadness, and decrease in positive moods. And sleeplessness is often a symptom of mood disorders such as depressions and anxiety. It can also raise the risk of and even contribute to developing some mood disorders. Your mood can also affect how well you sleep. Anxiety and stress increase agitations and keeps your body aroused, awake, and alert. You might find you can turn your brain off, your heart beats faster, and your breathing is quick and shallow. So getting sleep and the right kind of sleep is important. Okay, next slide is heart health. Okay, enough sleep support heart health. This stems from the link between heart disease and poor sleep. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) says the average adults need 7 hours trusted source of sleep a night. Getting less than that on a regular basis can lead to heart problems, many of which can hurt your heart health. Lack of sleep is associated with risk factors for heart disease, including high blood pressure, increased sympathetic nervous system activity, increased inflammations, elevated cortisol levels, weight gain, and insulin resistance. Okay, my last point is brain function. Sleep is required for brain function. Specifically, it allows your neurons or nerve cells to recognize. When you sleep, your brain's lymphatic was clearance system clears out waste from the center's nervous system. This removes toxic byproducts from your brain, which build up throughout the day. This allows your brain to work well when you wake up. Sleep contributes to memory functions by converting short-term memories into long-term memories, as well as by erasing or forgetting unneeded information that might otherwise clutter the nervous system. Sleep affects many aspects of brain function, including learning, memory, problem-solving skills, creativity, decisions making, and focus. Okay, last for conclusion. In conclusion, getting a good amount of sleep is incredibly important for your health. Sleep also helps your body and brain function properly. A good night sleep can help improve your learning, memory, decisions making, and even your creativity. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for your listening. Okay, I will give to our last presenter, Thaqifah.
Okay, so I will continue the presentation. So as you guys know, me Nurul Thaqifah binti ROHAIZI, one of your classmates. So today I would like to present to you guys about effect of playing video game. So I would like to start with the first slide. Okay, what is video game? Video games are online games that are either partially or largely played over the internet or any other available computer network. Online games are becoming more widespread on modern gaming platforms including PCs, console, and mobile phone. Online game design range from a simple text-based environment to a combination of complex graphics and a virtual world. The existence of an online component in a game can consist of small features such as online leaderboards to be part of the core game, such as playing directly against other players. Many online games create their own online communities, while other games, especially social games, integrate the real-life community of existing players. So, we move to the next slide. Okay, so here is the slide about percentage about video game in Malaysia. Gaming has been one of the more popular activities in entertainment among young adults and lately with older adults too. These days, there is a whole host of variety and flavors of online games to suit all age and preference. In 2021, there were around 180 active pro players in esports in Malaysia. So, to make this presentation, I make a research. So from there, I found the data that have been surveyed by Operator's team regarding online game in Malaysia in 2021. 80% of the online gamers are between 18 to 34 years old. 64% of the gamers have a full-time job. It means they play game and have a full-time job too. 50% are PMEB. PMEB is professionals, managers, executive, and businessmen. 60% of the online gamers are male and the rest 40% is female. Top 4 gaming device used in Malaysia is 97% using smartphone or mobile, 26% using personal PC or laptop, 80% using tablet, 16% using game console. Next slide. Top 5 e-sport game played by Malaysian gamers. 56% Mobile Legends Bang Bang, which very popular in Malaysia and have their own tournament for e-sport gamers, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it is MPL, that stands for Mobile Legends Professional League. 55% of Malaysian gamers play PUBG Mobile, and they also have their own tournament, which is PMPL, stand for PUBG Mobile Professional League. 26% play FIFA, 21% play League of Legends, and 90% play Dota 2. Next slide. Okay, so why they play game? Sometimes people play game for relaxation. A lot of video games are fast-paced and intense, but many are calm and relaxing. When the world around us is busy, chaotic, and stressful, immersing yourself is captivating. Relaxing video game is nice. If people are looking to relieve stress, playing video game can be a good place for it. Like me, when I stress or need something to cool down, I play PUBG Mobile with my friend and we laugh together, and it can relieve my stress. Sometimes, people also play game to make a lot of money. Pro player or gamers like Fredo, Solos, and others, they make a stream while playing a video game. They platform the streaming such as Facebook, TikTok, and others. So from there, the viewer will give them a star or any gift, and then the company will pay them the amount that they get. So they like partnership with that company. Next slide. So here is the main character today because it's stated in the title. Next, while playing video games, they also have a good effect and bad effect to our body. So I will talk about good effect first. So what is the good effect if we're playing the video game? The first is with playing video game, we can improve our brain function. Why I said that playing video game can improve our brain function? It is because to playing a game, we have to think the strategy to win the game, right? So with that, we can train our brain to think what the good idea or good strategy to win. For example, like PUBG mobile game, we need to think where is the safe place that we can landing safely, and we need to think how to get to safe zone and others. Many gamers play games that require a great deal of planning, strategic thinking, and using logic to achieve goal within the game. So it makes sense that they will have enhanced development in areas of the brain dedicated to problem solving and logic. Other than that, with playing video game also can improve our English skill. As we know, today's game have an element of voice where we can communicate with anyone who is our team, and even an enemy we can also communicate if we are at close range with them. So sometimes there are some gamers who like to play with random players from various countries. Random players who are members of our teams are sometimes from different countries like Pakistan, Indonesia, and Thailand. So we need to communicate with them to make a strategy. It's quite difficult. It's quite difficult to communicate with them using Malay language. So we should use English because English is the language that understood by people around the world. In the unconscious, it can improve our English skill just by communicating in English while playing video games. So next slide. Okay, next I will talk about bad effect of playing video game. So, video game addiction is a condition in which mental health is significantly affected by millions of people around the world. The World Health Organization (WHO) recognized it as a gaming disorder in their International Classification of Disease (ICD-11) as a persistent or repetitive pattern of gaming behavior, which may be online or offline, indicated by impaired control over gaming, increased preference to gambling as far as game are more important than other life interests and daily activities, and the continuity or improvement of game despite negative consequence. While billions of people play video games, the majority of them are not addicted, and the World Health Organization estimates the number of those struggling with addiction is 3 to 4%. Among the disadvantages of playing the video game is that can reduce sleep time. This is because the secretion of the hormone that stimulates drowsiness, namely the hormone melatonin, is stunted due to the eyes being exposed to light from video game. When sleep is not enough, the body will become tired the next day. When the body feels tired, a person will become lazy to do something and his work will be delayed. This will lead to depression if the work delay is so much that there is no time to do it. A neuroscientist who specialized in study on sleep told that the less sleep, the shorter his life expectancy. This happens because when lack of sleep causes problem to the brain and body. In addition, video game can also affect a person's mental health. In video game, there is also an element of violence such as killing, stealing, and so on. So there are kids who play and don't know that it is not allowed to do, and they want to try it in the real life. For example, in Russia, there was a case involving a teenage boy who killed a woman simply because he wanted to experience the murder in real life. This is all due to the influence of video games that have a violent element. The 15 years old acted to stab the 21 years old victim after the victim withdrew the money from an automatic teller machine, which is ATM, in Moscow. As a result, the innocent woman was dead there. So next slide. In the conclusion, video games have many benefits and many disadvantages. So, we as responsible Malaysians must be wise to manage time so that we are not too lazy to play video games that cause health damage. For parents, it is the responsibility of parents to always take care of the mental and physical health of their children. As caring parents must play an important role in ensuring that children do not spend too much time playing video games so that they are not too obsessed with playing video games that can damage their health. Next slide. Here I put the reference where I make a research to do my presentation about the video game. Next. Okay, that's all for my presentation, and thank you for lending your ears to hear my presentation. That's all.